Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. So today I'm bringing you actually a video that was a request from one of my followers. We're going to be talking briefly about the visible range volume profile indicator. It is not one of my most used volume profile indicators because I will usually use the fixed range. But as we're going to see, there is a place for the visible range. It's more dynamic, and we're just going to go over the settings that I use and how you can apply it and the uses that you can have for it. Okay? Before we dive right in, as always, please make sure to subscribe, hit the thumbs up. We're bringing you 2 to 3 new videos every week. Thank you everyone that's been supporting the channel. We're growing at a really nice pace, and we'll just keep all the content coming for all of you. So for this, I'm in a NASDAQ daily chart, but as we're going to see, it doesn't matter what market you're going to be using. I'm just going to go through the example here. So I'm going to go over this on the TradingView platform, but obviously, almost any trading platform that has volume profile tools is going to have the option for a visible range. So for the visible range here on TradingView, you're just going to go up to where it says indicators. You're going to go into technicals, profiles, and then the bottom last one says visible range volume profile. You're going to click that, and you can see that since this is an indicator, is going to go up here on the top left. That's where it's going to be. And so if we want to access the settings for this, we're either going to go over here and put on the little gear icon, or we're going to just double click on it, and that's going to bring it up as well. Okay, so if you put this here for the first time or whichever under your own platform when you use this, keep in mind too, this volume profile indicators are only available under the pro plans. So you cannot use this if you have a free TradingView account. If you have a free TradingView account, then you can use these two indicators right here, which is actually the ones that I use the most, because I like to use this more as like a drawing tool, so I can just put it independently on whatever market I am using. But since this one is an indicator, that means that if we change the chart and go to another market, let's say if we go to gold, you can see that a new profile loads up. If we go to the S&P, a new profile shows up, etc. So it's an indicator. So it's going to be applied to whatever chart we have open. Now, as far as the functions, we have the little eye here. You can hide it or enable it. If you press the X, you're just going to remove it. And again, the gear icon is the settings. Now, first thing you're going to notice when this comes up is that it is covering the candlesticks. This is, generally this happens with almost all the drawing tools or the profiles that you put on your charts. So the first thing that I always like to do is just to right click on it, go to where it says visual order, and click send to back. When you do that, you can see that now the profile is not going to be covering your candlesticks on your chart, because now it is on the back end of the screen. Okay, so let's first go over the general settings for this. So visibility, very obvious. This is just going to show what time frames this is going to come up in. Generally, I'll have it as default from minutes, hours, and days. But again, you can switch it depending on what type of time frames you're going to be working in. Style. This, if you take this off, this is just going to take off the volume profile. Values. You might notice you do this and it doesn't make a difference. But for values to show up, you need to go and expand this a lot so that you can look at the individual rows, and then you can see right here you have the values. So the values are basically going to show you, in this case, the bid and the ask volumes at each specific line on the profile. But normally, you would have this very zoomed out. So unless you zoom in a lot or you have really huge lines, the values are not really going to show on their own. Then with percentage box, this is just how wide it's going to stretch out. If I go to 50, it's going to go more. If I go to 20, it's going to be a little bit less. Placement, you can have it on the left side of the chart, or you can have it on the right side. I generally prefer this type of profile to be on the right. Up, down volume, value areas, up and down. If you want to highlight the value area in a different color, you can do like that and just assign a different color or a different tone. So in this case, the value area is going to be this, which, as you know, this is basically going to be the 68% of all the traded volume that we have here, covering the whole profile from the screen. And by default is going to come as 70. It's under inputs. We're going to talk about this in a second, but I always like to keep it at 68 to be more exact. Okay, so the colors, you can just play around and change them up over here. By default, I don't have the value area low, high, or point of control lines, but if you want to enable them, you can see this is the value area high threshold, the value area low, and the point of control, which is going to be the price level in this entire visible chart that the most traded volumes were up at this level. Okay, then developing point of control and developing value area. This is simply going to show you how the value area and the point of control has been evolving and changing as the chart has developed. I don't really use this personally. And then this settings, which I don't really use. And then inputs, this is going to be whether you want it by ticks per row or numbers per row. In general, on TradingView, since there's not really any real tick data for like futures market and stuff, I generally just keep it all under number of rows. And I found that the 1500 is like a good overall number for any kind of market, for crypto, forex, futures, etc. But you can play around with it. The lower the row number, the chunkier the profile is going to be. And then the higher the row number, the more defined is going to be. I like to have a pretty defined volume profile just so I can identify very well the high volume nodes and all their edges more easily. Okay, so between 1,000 and 1,500 is generally what I use. Volume, it can be up or down, or you can put total. If you put, for example, total, and we go into style and we put values, if I go in now, you can see that now it's just going to show me the total traded volume per row. If I go up and down, then it's going to split it by bid and ask. If I put delta, it's going to show me the difference between total traded bid minus total traded ask, basically aggressive buyers minus aggressive sellers. But in general, since I don't really pay attention in here on TradingView, I don't really use these values, I will just keep it at total. Okay, but again, depending what your strategy is, you might want to use them. So it's up to your personal preferences if you want to use it. Okay, and now pretty much the definition of the visible range is that this is a dynamic volume profile. It's going to change depending on what you have on your chart. So for example here, if I have it like this, you can see that we're very heavy on volume here because we have all this action here from the past few months, and there's not really a lot down here. But if I squish the chart and I bring up more data from down over here, you can see that now we're pretty even, because now we have all this data here accumulating volumes here, and we have all this data here accumulating volumes down here. Okay, so basically this is a dynamic volume profile that is going to be changing based upon what you're looking at the chart. And the same thing, if I go into Bitcoin, you can see, you know, you have right here a very little volumes over here, just because there's not a lot going on there. But then we have bigger profiles here based on the volumes we've accumulated at these levels, etc. Okay, and you know, same thing, I can move. This works in Forex as well. You know, if I go to Euro US dollar, there are methods that TradingView uses in order to calculate volume profiles on like spot Forex. Even though it is a decentralized market, they measure it based on the tick change, the movement up and down of the candles. Same thing here. You can see how the volume profile is dynamically changing based on what is on the chart. And you know, I'm not going to go into trading strategies on this video because it's basically just an overview of the volume profile. You can look at all the different volume profile videos that I have on my channel under the educational playlist. But basically, you know, we're looking for identifying high volume nodes. We know that the low volume node areas where volume cuts off, these are big areas of support and resistance. So generally we want to be looking for positions around the edges of these nodes, etc. Okay, but again, that's topics for another video. This was just a quick overview of the visible range volume profile, how you can set it up, how you can change the settings, and how you can apply it into your charts to help you in all your different trading strategies. Okay, hope you all have a great day. You've enjoyed the video. Again, if you have any requests for other topics you want to see covered, let me know down below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.